little bit because
Right.
Barb consulted for this show and things. So there's a lot of like interesting things in there.
Yeah, yeah. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. But I always fall back on that thing, man. Do it on the real folk. No,
Yeah.
just the way, like searching Bobby Fischer, searching for Bobby Fischer. I mean, the kid was real. This actually happened, and it was a fantastic story. So but I didn't see it. But and we gained our particular chess club. We got some benefit out of it. But that pandemic really hurt us. But we're slowly coming out of that. Of course, what my students found is that, man, there's no substitute for being at the tournament. Over the board, facing the opponent, that kind of. There's no substitute for that.
It's different.
It's different, and they just prefer it. Before they would sort of complain, "Oh, coach, you got to be here all day," and blah blah blah. Now their attitude is, "Coach, when are we going to Cincinnati? When are we going to Chicago? We miss this." And the coaches, they're same attitude. Man, I never thought I'd miss this much working with the kids, taking them to tournaments and being there to tournaments with them. So, brother, you put out that article. What kind of response have you gotten to that article today?
Not much. Some of the people I know who do chess and are very interested in chess, they liked it. I had you reach out. I had a couple of comments on Twitter, I think. Usually when I put out articles, I get 1 or 2 emails, saying, "Oh, I really liked it," or "I really hated it." But so it was pretty average in terms of that. But I really liked it.
Let's talk a little bit about your career. Do you have any books that you think you might be putting out down the road? Or?
I'm working on 2 or 3 different things. As you can tell from my topics, really, like I like to do a lot of things at once. So I have a couple of things that I'm working on. And I have on Medium, I have a Medium site where I put up things. I started to do a writing guide on different topics, like for people who want to write and want to learn how to write better. I put a lot of advice there on how to think about different topics and things. So I'm considering putting that together into like a more formal guide.
Right.
I have a lot of other things. I'm really fascinated by the topic of selection in social science and economics and history and things like that. And I don't know, the one that probably comes to mind to most people, the example that comes to mind to most people is natural selection and evolution, and how something evolve, how a system evolves basically by selecting for certain things, where so it's not necessarily that somebody's making a choice somewhere. It's just like, okay, this was I don't know, think of water running down a hill or something. It picks a bunch of different paths and then it selects for whatever becomes the river, like there is some reason for why the water went this way and not the other way. But there were tons of ways that it could have went. It's almost like chess in that way. If you imagine chess as a decision tree, like you start in the beginning and then it just branches out and you have so many options. And if you look at it in hindsight, it's like, oh yeah, obviously these were the best moves. And if I analyze a game with a computer, I can say, okay, this was a better move and that was a better move. And those are all selection topics and how, like, yeah. So there's a lot there that I want to dig into, and I think it captures a lot of where we are in the world and how we live the way that we live and things like that.
Yeah. The big questions, the important questions.
Yeah. And chess is an analogy for all of it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful analogy. It's a beautiful game in the sense that it's this perfectly open game. There's no hidden information. There's perfect knowledge. It's there.
Right.
There's no luck involved in terms of poker or rolling a dice or anything like that. It's all there on the board, and it's just you and the moves and your opponent's moves.
Brother, I'm going to have to try to figure out how to raise some serious money and bring you up here to help me coach these kids, because that's almost exactly what we say to them. I say, guys, it's right there on the board. It's all right there.
Yeah. That's absolutely right. I don't know if I can teach them much about moves or openings or theory, but
man,
I'm happy to
fantastic.
draw
Brother,
the parallels.
before we close, man, I want you to talk to us a little bit about, you're employed by this institute, correct?
Contractors,
Okay.
officially, formally.
What is that institute? Could you give us a summation of
Oh, wow.
the
Okay.
name and what they do?
So AIER, American Institute for Economic Research, they're a very old institute from the 30s or so, founded by a guy called E.C. Harwood, who used to be, I think, a physicist at MIT during the Great Depression. And he was very big on gold. He was very big on sound money and how money works and how monetary systems work, how banks work, that kind of thing. So I think he gathered enough money and he set up this institute in Western Massachusetts. They managed to buy this land and they still have it till this day, a big mansion and a big area, beautiful, beautiful area in the Berkshires. And he set up this institute and he was focused on spreading economic ideas and spreading economic knowledge and teaching. And then he just kept doing that, and he was in his family's with his descendants were running it and things for years, but he was sort of hammering away in nobody really knew about it, and he was just up there employing a couple of people, not really doing much until a couple of years ago, when a lot of people, I don't know, discovered it or found it or reinvented it, however you want to call it. And I had some friends who were there at the time, and they recruited me, and I really, really liked it up there. Very beautiful place. So I was there, and I've been working with them ever since. And then this year I got promoted to research fellow. So now here we are.
That's fantastic, man. Brother, I'd like to be able to keep in touch with you. You sound like you got a very promising career, and I just really like the stuff you do. And also I just like to keep in touch with,
absolutely,
touch bases with other scholars there at that institute. And I just want to thank you so much for doing this article. You know, we're going to be sharing it with our students.
Thank you.
Here. And we really
thanks for having me. Yeah, it would be lovely to meet up, and then you can teach me some chess. Maybe I'll still be a decent player one day.
Yeah, I got you, brother. We can see if we can do that. All right, man. Look, it's been good, and let's please keep in touch, okay?
Absolutely. Take care.
Thank you.